surface of my heart. The feelings ever gone. A brave adventurer like me. Memories everywhere that I've come from.
All right, guys, we are back. Map number 2, Aftershock versus Dismay. I'm being hypnotized by the Tiger Tooth bayonet on Smelly, but we are here in the pistol round. And this is Aftershock's map pick, meaning that we do see Dismay on that CT side. So a great position for them to be in after taking that map number 1 in convincing fashion. But an A-take underway from Aftershock. They are on their way in, and we do see going to be the first frag for Limes, or make it 2 for him. Skills gets 1. We're going to have 3 frags for the Ts and 3 for the CTs. Bomb being planted. Now, a retake situation.
Yeah, Knife was the big clutch player last pistol round for Dismay. Picks up 1, gets the other frag as well.
What a god.
So he picked up an ace in the first map on Nuke. And he gets 2 here to clutch that retake with Sharp, getting the defuse as well. So round number 1 on the board for Dismay, picking up where they left off on Nuke. And I'd hope that Aftershock is a little bit more prepared, as Cash was their selection.
Exactly. We've got to assume that they're going to be more prepped here, but we'll find out as that first round going heavily in favor of the CTs. I say heavily in favor. They got the bomb plant, so that's very key to being able to buy up earlier, or sooner rather than later. At the moment, we've got another A-side play, though, as they send a ton of nades out. They're trying to drop the player in Mr. E, but he doesn't go down, and that basically is their plan falling apart. Skillet got 1, but that was it, and that was on Mr. E, but you saw they stacked nades just hoping that there was someone close on the other side near Forklift, and there was, but he was far enough back that no real damage done, but 1 frag, not exactly the spot that Aftershock wanted to find themselves in, being that they invested a little bit in, obviously, those nades and some upgraded pistols.
Yeah, you know, they're opting for the SMG buy, keeping those SMGs, the P90, the Bison, the UMP. Obviously, they know that it works when you're facing an eco round. The armorless T's just getting mowed down by those SMG bullets, especially the P90. It's pretty much the anti-eco kryptonite, or I should say the eco kryptonite. Right now, 2 players from Aftershock lit, 10 HP between the 2 of them. Smelly at 2, AKNY at 8. And that was compliment, I believe, Sharp with the FAMAS. Sharp does, oh no, it would have been Knife. Sharp is gonna polish off AKNY. So it's already down to 4 players here in round number 3. 55 seconds left on the clock, and it looks like they're going to be setting up for a B take, and they're just going to be walking into it here as there's already 3 players over there. Sharp up close, 1 in vent, that's Sobo. Sharp is going to get taken down by a nice shot from Fugly. Molly rains out, Knife picking up 2 quick frags. Drone and Smelly off the board. Sobo gets another, that's Skillet, and now Fugly. A 1v4 with a P250 and no armor. He's a great player, but this would be almost impossible to pull off.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get any more frags, as would be nice for them in the economy sense, but it's not going to be so, as Dismay will start off 3-0. Aftershock now able to buy up here. So what do they go for? Do we see a slow kind of default just spread across the map? Are they going to try and catch the CTs off guard, just try and rush a site, or maybe work some mid-control? Obviously, Cash, very, very popular because of how strong it is to take mid-control. A lot of T sides will focus their efforts just trying to get out there, make something happen. So it does look like they're going to send out a couple AKNY already out, and some spam from Sobo. That's going to put Smelly down to 57 HP already. So they will take mid-control, though, and that is what they were hoping for. Now everything opens up from here.
Yeah, mid-control is the name of the game when it comes to Cash, because you open up the vent, the highway, and Z connector. There's just so many options. The map very dynamic in the way that you can attack sites. You know, B pretty much has multiple entry points. You know, Vent gives you another way to get in from B, from the T side, I should say. Sharp's going to get spotted out by AKNY, gets taken down after some nice shooting from him. AKNY is getting lit through that garage door. There's a man still in sight. That's Knife behind the box. And AKNY knows he's there. They go for the peek, not able to get it. Knife takes him out as well as Drone gets a third. Trying to get a fourth, he's dropped by Smelly. Fugly picks up Limezor, and now it's a 1v2. Mr. E with an AWP. Not exactly the gun for the retake here. He's going to try and peek through the smoke, but there's not going to be much he can see. Definitely excellently deployed. Eats that grenade down to 62 HP. The time is ticking away here. He's got this AWP. Fugly in checkerboard is going to spot him out, and a nice shot from Mr. E. Almost picking it up, though. Smelly is going to clean him off the board. So the first round for Aftershock coming in the first buy round there in round number 4. And I almost thought for a second that Mystery had that after that wonderful flick shot.
It was looking close, but luckily for Aftershock, Smelly works that trade, and oh so important, especially in a 2v1. You can't afford to let the CT get that frag and then reposition himself. It's just not the way Counter-Strike is played. So working that trade, they are able to pull off the round, and 3-1 the scoreline. Still enough money, though, to buy on Dismay. And Smelly will put down Sobo right from the get-go. Limezor will follow up, though. So 4v4, Drone dropped down to 62 HP, so a little bit of an advantage in the damage sense, but 4-on-4 always going to favor the T's, as now the defense spread out for Dismay. So Knife and Sharp working that B site together. Mystery, Limezor, they are in charge of A. So AKNY will get a boost up. Checks towards Vent. Won't spot anything as Limezor has repositioned towards A highway. So 50 seconds left on the clock, and not a heck of a lot of action in this 4-on-4.
Yeah, Aftershock's just playing the slow game right now. Trying to take some mid-control. AKNY pushing up into that smoke, and he gets the head of Limezor, and it looks like they're going to make a play over towards A. There's only one man there, and he's playing back by Truck. A little bit out of position here. Mr. E is going to have to come up with some big kills. Instead, though, they go B, so the fake is real. Dismay rotating way too early, and they're going to get that bomb plant in the B bomb site as they take out Knife here. Skillet, though, not able to get in sight before Sharp can come in, and oh my goodness, Sharp picks up 3. So before I can say it, Fugly, Drone, and company taken down by Dismay, and a round that probably should have been Aftershocks goes the way of Dismay, and now Aftershock's going to be stuck on an eco here in round number 6.
Was that just a spray down as they entered, like they were moving up the ramp and kind of around headshot? I saw a number of corpses there. Did they just line up for him? I honestly had my my obs on someone else there, so...
I didn't see it either. I was on the
no
point of view of the T's pushing into sight.
Putting you on the spot here. No worries. Hopefully you guys at home maybe spotted that out, but here we are. Actually, no, I'm catching it now. Oh, I just saw it all happen on the replay. Thank goodness for Canadian internet. Means that my stream way delayed, and Mr. E starting off the round, but Fugly fires back and picking up that AWP. This is now a situation that's very dangerous. Sobo going down 3v3. Bomb has been set. We've got Limezor very close here, but again, that AWP just poses such a threat. Skillet can just hit these shots. They have an opportunity to take this, and that's another one here as finally the AWP is dropped, but Smelly from close sight will be able to get that frag. Sharp fires back, though, and with a kit in hand, they're going to play Ring Around the Rosie here, and I'm curious as to if he's going to hold on to it, and he is, but Smelly at the very last second peeks out and gets the frag, so a huge clutch from Aftershock, and they're able to take an AWP as well as that consolation prize. I guess consolation prize means that they didn't win the round. That was poorly phrased, but you guys get what I'm talking about. AWP on the round win. That's beautiful.
That was so close, so close. It was like just a tiny, tiny, tiny little sliver. Ugh, that's frustrating.
Certainly, Aftershock will pick that up, though, sending Dismay onto Eco. So getting Knife early on here means that Sharp is the only one inside of B site. He's going to try and push this back, but Drone picks up that frag. Sobo, though, manages to make his way into sight. Gets one from Generator before going down and makes it a 2v4. So as much economic damage as they can do on the Dismay side, but AKNY easily disposes of Mystery. Pistol to the head, and Fugly finishes the round. So a good one from Aftershock means that they are able to start building up some bank on their side. 2 round wins in a row there. We'll see if they can get a third, as it looks like Dismay is going to have to save once again.
Yeah, the money on Dismay is not necessarily perfect. I mean, it could be way worse. But they're going to go for the P250 buy across the board. Smoke and Flash on Sobo. Looks like they're going to be opting for a stack play here. Smokes and Flashes raining out mid, maybe trying to trick them into thinking they're pushing mid. Instead, they're going to be pushing A. Sobo gets taken down immediately, though, so that play, the card already taken off the table. Knife gets smelly after picking up 2. Actually, only got 1. Now an AK in the hands of Dismay here. It's a 4v3, but they know exactly what's happening here as Fugly drops sharp. So they're going to go for that B bomb site and get that plant as quick as possible. The 2-man already rotating over. That's Knife. He's heading over towards Heaven, but P250, no armor, and Flashes and nades are just going to rain out into upper. He's going to go for a peek here and probably get his head cleaned off as AKNY is waiting for him. Sure enough, that's what happens. Fugly, meanwhile, does clean up Limezor. So a good anti-eco there from Aftershock, only losing the 1 player, especially after giving them an AK. That could have played out a little bit differently. We saw what happened when Aftershock was able to get an AWP on an eco round. Nonetheless, though, 4-4 is the scoreline coming into round number 9, and Aftershock looking much more confident on Cash than they were on Nuke.
Yeah, their map choice, and they're proving it here. 4 rounds on that T side is definitely a good spot for them to be in now in round number 9. So Mystery is very aggressively pushing up into A main. He's boosted himself up over the smoke. Very popular angle here. Limezor with mid control. He's got a buddy to his right in Sharp now entering vents. But this is a key round for the CTs as they've got pretty much no money to their name. And the same is not to be said for the T. Smelly starts things off. It's going to be a mid pick here as Limezor will be able to trade on that. So Smelly goes down as he tries to drop in a mid. But B-side play as Knife will be tested. Sobo from CT spawn as well, and Knife will pick up 1 here. Actually, Sobo got that. Knife now will get 1, but with only 2 Ts left, they're running out of space as all of the CTs will be closing on in on that location. So great round. Knife with a triple kill. Knife has been going really, really big for his team. Definitely part of the reason that they are up the amount they are, but it's only 1 round. So Aftershock able to buy here once again. That is going to be key for them to put if they want to get more rounds on the board, which I'm sure they do. If they win this one, throw Dismay back onto the eco. They will. Yoda style.
Yeah, Dismay has looked really good on their holds, and a lot of that is on Knife. He's 12-5 right now, top fragger across the board for both teams. Smelly's going to start things out here, dropping the AWP that was on Mr. E over in Squeaky Door. That's going to open up the A bomb site just a little bit here, as now Sobo's by himself. They do have help rotating over towards Truck. Meanwhile, though, Limezor in mid. The man that could have watched Highway is taken down by AKNY, and now it's a 5v3. Knife, only body armor, but plenty of nades across the board for the CT side of Dismay, and I'm surprised they're not re-smoking main here, as they know the players are sitting back there with the bomb. There's 3 in main, 1 in Squeaky, and then there's that lurker roll, man. That's AKNY back towards B. He's trying to hold these players over if he can, and it looks like it's working now as they are falling for the fake just a little bit. Sobo is going to have to come up massively here, playing over towards red box in sight. Spots one out. That Smelly doesn't get the kill, and now I'd be surprised if the CTs try to retake here. Mystery, the big frag early in the round, really let the CT side of Dismay down. Opening up that site was Aftershock. So now Knife, the last man standing. It's pretty much impossible odds. A 1v5. Gets a frag here on AKNY. That was the lurker. And that's going to cue these players on Aftershock where he's at, and they are going to go a-hunting.
Yeah, we'll see if he can hang on to this weapon. It would be nice, but Skillet puts him down. And 5 5-5 the score line. Again, Aftershock, they are looking solid on this T side, and winning that round means that it's a rough look here from Dismay. They've got 2 players with enough to buy, but it's only those 2 players, and they do not have enough to drop. So another eco round for Dismay, and this the CT side for them. For them, definitely looking forward to that T side, I imagine, as we saw a really good T side on Nuke. We'll see if it translates over to Cash, but right now, Aftershock, they know what's going on. They're taking mid-control once again here. Sobo is alive in Z, but being that he still had nades on him, I'm a little bit upset that he decided to peek there, just because, obviously, that long range always going to favor the rifles over the pistol, unless you got a deagle, which he did not have, and you can hit those crazy 1-deags. But mid-control for the T's, and they have not yet picked a bomb site, just waiting for more aggression. That, at least from our point of view, we can see that only Sharp has moved locations, and he's bound back now in Z, but he is smoked off.
Yeah, the ego round here from Dismay, you're obviously not trying to necessarily win the round, just trying to do some damage. Mr. E is down to 11. Fugly is going to pick up Sharp. Knife in sight, trying to spot these players out. He knows one is Generator, doesn't come up with the kill. So now Mr. E just lurking through that smoke. May spot out Fugly, doesn't matter. Drone takes him down. Limezor, the last one standing. Already a clean sweep round here for Aftershock. This is worst case scenario when you're on an eco. You know, a pretty average eco round, I'd say, is maybe 1 or 2 kills. And then, you know, every once in a while you see a very close round. Sometimes it works. But right now, Limezor not even really in a good position to take a frag, as the players in his direction are sitting pretty high on health. He spots out Drone, dinks him and takes him low. Fugly coming around the corner, could take him down. 1 HP on Fugly. Drone actually kills him. Smelly finally cleans him up. But man, so the pistol play there from Limezor, despite the fact that the kill didn't go to him, they do pick up 1 frag on the round, so they do get some economic damage, and actually even more so than you would hope, because they took a gun out of the hand of Aftershock and then lost money when they team killed. So that's going to be maybe more destructive than getting the frag yourself.
Yeah, no doubt, as we've got a grenade. Decent one for the location on the boost players, but they made it there so quickly that they passed the location that nade landed. So it was close, but no cigar. Mid-control once again for the T's. Knife playing in an angle so he can catch a player if they drop down out of vents, but AKNY opens up the round. Mr. E on the bench, and he is not having a good map thus far. He's tried to cycle out some passive play with aggressive play, but just cannot seem to hit his mark. And with this kind of mid-control, the options are endless. We can see that Sharp and Sobo don't know where to go. They're kind of rotating back and forth because they suspect it could be a B play, but not really sure, so they're just trying to be in transition. But the problem is, when you're stuck in transition, you're not readily available to actually help onto the bomb site. And yeah, if your teammate stays alive long enough, you can rotate and help out, but they go down right away, which is generally what we see. Fugly with one of the... That was such a sick jump out of vents. Knife has no idea what happened, and it's all up to a 1v2. Limezor will be jumping around in mid. He's got an AK-47, but without a kit. They are going to be planting the bomb, and this is a bleak situation, but...
What? An AKNY just
what?
Spamming the wall. Missing the first shot, picking up the second one.
I still... That jump from Fugly, I don't know if you caught that, but he strafe jumped out. Knife was holding right underneath the vents in the corner, so he can't be spotted from B halls. Fugly just takes a guess. He jumps out, strafes, just holds that A key, flicks around, lands right in his face, and just pops his head with the AK. They're just unreal play. So 7-5 the scoreline here.
Yeah, we're going to see another eco round here from Dismay. They're definitely struggling a little bit here on the CT side. Sharp goes down early. A nice shot from Smelly holding that angle. Knife's going to be around the corner behind this box. He's going to take him down as well, so 2 quick frags for Smelly. Skillet, meanwhile, taking Mr. E and Limezor off the board. Now it's down to Sobo. So a really quick anti-eco round here coming from Aftershock. Sobo in heaven. Here's that bomb planting over towards B, and I imagine he's just going to try and catch somebody off guard. And look at this angle he's holding. He's waiting for these players to push out of B if possible. I just don't know if it's going to happen. He might get spotted out by the 0 man pushing up. That would be Fugly pushing up Z connector, and there goes Drone. The headshot coming in for Sobo, tries to pick up the AK, Fugly takes him down after all. So only one frag on an anti-eco round, or on an eco round for Dismay. Aftershock looking very strong on the T side. And it's something that we've talked about before with Cash, is that when you take two teams and put them on Cash, if the one really knows the T side, it's not so balanced anymore. It's not like Nuke where, you know, it's kind of... I shouldn't even say that. After watching the last map, Nuke should be a very CT-sided map. But
Exactly.
this is a pretty balanced map, and when you take two teams that know the map, that's the case. But when you have a team who's very versed on the T side, it quickly tilts in their favor.
And right now, Limezor getting a boost over at mid. We'll see if he can make something happen. He will spot out Skillet. So that's a good frag, but falling back, he needs to be very careful as that smoke will cover his exit. As AKNY was holding that angle and actually receives some spray through the smoke, so down to 50 HP. The bomb's still situated outside of mid warehouse, and looks like they're opting to boost AKNY up and over. Fugly making some noise over at Squeaky, but isn't able to get anything done, so advantage still to the CTs. And Dismay, they need to come up with a decent scoreline in this half. 10-5 might not cut it for them, although we have seen that they have a strong T side, at least on Nuke. We'll see how it, like we were saying earlier, how it translates. But at the moment, it does look like we're going to have a B play. Knife and Mr. E will be around to try and defend this. So flashes moving out, and those are good ones. We can see that the whole crew of T's fully blind, so just holding off. But Mr. E will get a crucial opening frag onto AKNY, but things just do not go the way of the T's. They try and enter that B site, but before I can even say any of it, we have Dismay picking up the round. So 6-8, last round of the half here. Dismay hoping to make it 8-7. Aftershock obviously wanting a 9-6.
Yeah, you know, the T side on Aftershock is looking really good. I was just watching them push in, and their smoke play is really good. They know a couple of nice bank smokes to smoke off Heaven and CT Cross. And, I mean, even though Dismay has put 6 on the board, 8 rounds on the T side of Cash is pretty good. AKNY starting things off here in round number 15, the final round of the first half, with a nice AWP frag onto Sobo. And that's going to definitely help their cause here. AKNY pushing up towards Highway already. He's going to be able to spot this player out in sight. That's Mr. E. Mr. E has to be careful. Mr. E peeks and able to take AKNY down low, 22 HP. So he got a little bit of a dig shot, but now he is abandoned in sight. And Bomb is actually falling out towards mid. And I'm not really sure where they're going to take it, and I don't think Aftershock knows either, and that's the beauty of Cash. You kind of put a lot of presence on mid, and then you can decide where to go after the fact. So Knife here is going to have to come up big and maybe take down AKNY and try and even things out, but it does look like Aftershock is shifting their weight towards B, so we'll see what they do as they have 40 seconds left on the clock. They need to make something happen soon.
And we see some T-side players dropping into checkered. It is going to be an emphasis on B, and Limezor going down does not help the issue, as now heading on in, Smelly gets another one. Sharp will get 2 though, and Knife burns 1 to death, so now we're in a 2v2 situation. Drone goes down, Smelly no 1v2. This fell apart for the T-side, and Smelly now here to salvage it, but won't be able to get it done. 8-7 is going to be our halftime score, and Dismay's going to be happy about at least getting that last round. Maybe not the score line, but again, we reiterate once again, if they can bring out a similar T side that we saw on Nuke, have that same kind of coordination and such on this T side of Cash, we could see it go in the way of Dismay, but definitely Aftershock looking much stronger on their map choice rather than starting off on Nuke.
Yeah, you know, even though they had a rough game on Nuke, they put that behind them, and it's kind of what we talked about in the middle of the game there. When you're looking at a scoreline like that, you have to start thinking about the fact that that wasn't your map selection. It's not something you're confident on. You need to start thinking about the next map. It's not a best of one, so even though you lost the first map, you need to realize you have an opportunity to even things up on your own selection. And so far, they've been looking very good here. Dismay obviously wanting to set the pace for their T side as they are down 8-7, but if Aftershock can take that pistol round, that would be big. give them a nice little cushion to work with here as they are coming into round number 16, the first round of the second half between Dismay and Aftershock on map number 2, which is Cache.
Yeah, and we look at the equipment on the board. Fugly picking up a kit. So he's going to fill that utility role, but at the moment, all of these decoys mean that the CTs, although I'm sure they're quite aware these are just decoys, makes my radar look pretty crazy. So now as everything settles down, we can see that it is an A-side push, which is inevitable. The bomb on Knife about to come out of Squeaky, and they've got Sobo now sending a smoke over. That's going to be onto the balcony. So we'll cover that location as now they're heading out into sight. Drone tries to hold here, but Dismay running over the CT side. AKNY has an opportunity from Fork, but doesn't work out. And now Smelly and Skillet in a 2v5 rather. And this is looking pretty bleak as Sobo gets the run and headshot, gets a second, and they put away that round with ease. 8-8 our scoreline, and a great start on that T side for Dismay.
Yeah, obviously they're thrilled with the fact that they were able to tie the score here. They are on the slightly less favored T side. Like we said, this map is pretty balanced standard, and you did see that with an 8-7 scoreline in the first half. The eco round here from Aftershock, armor across the board except for Drone. Drone picking up a grenade. No kit on this team though, and that could be big. They're going to be stacking over towards A, but most of the weight for Dismay is in mid. There is a player way back on B, just watching for the push, and that is Knife. So Dismay looks like they know how to play this map, so definitely capable on the T side. It'll be interesting to see how this map continues to play out. Obviously, Dismay right now up 1-0 in this best of 3. Aftershock hoping to take their map and take it to map number 3, which I believe is Mirage.
Yeah,
so,
correct. And that'll be interesting. As Dismay, though, obviously does not want to give up that map lead. They want to end this 2-0. Aftershock obviously wanting to bring it to that map. So we do see Dismay heading towards A, but the problem is this is a stacked site, and they're finding out the hard way. Smelly gets 2, making it a 3v3. Fugly with 1 as well, and it's up to Sobo and Knife as the bomb down at top of highway. They just ran right into a crossfire. Knife, though, I'm sure he heard Smelly, but goes down nonetheless. And now in a 1v3, this is completely doable from Sobo, but it definitely is going to come down to the crossfires. Smelly does have that Galil in hand. Sobo checking towards truck. He will be able to get the bomb. Why turn away? He turns away and suspects that maybe there's a player on the flank. I can't guilt trip him for that because he doesn't know the locations of all the CTs, but he turns away, gets fragged, and Aftershock pick up that round. Big win for them here, and probably a momentum shift in the second half.
I have a feeling he was trying to make his way back towards vents because he had enough time, I believe. He would have gotten into sight with probably 5 seconds left on the clock to get the plant. But obviously they weren't going to let him do it, so maybe a little foolish thinking they were just going to let him pick up that bomb and take it. I thought he should have taken the duels. Instead, we're going to see Dismay here on the eco round now, and they're going to be able to get that site quite easily after taking out 2. Smelly and Drone are down. Skillet not able to do much help from upper. He's going to get dropped by Mr. E, so the Tech 9 showing its dominance. Fugly, meanwhile, polishing off Sharp. He's pushing around the corner with the P90. Limezor with the M4 found is going to take out AKNY, and now it's a 2v1. Fugly versus Limezor and Sobo, and the nice nade from Fugly spots out the one frag. It's a 1v1 now. Fugly pushing up from Generator, the P90 in hand, getting the huge 4K on that round, shutting down that eco push from Dismay, and it looked like it was going to be easy peasy for them, but thanks to the Pro 90, Fugly is able to pull it out.
Yeah, I thought that round was lost for the CTs, to be honest. When AKNY, he peeked out from CT connector and stared Fugly in the face. I was like, oh, you've cleared that spot, and then he dies from sight. So, again, a bit of lack of communication there as Fugly had killed the person on the CT side of connector, and his teammate goes down due to lack of communication. So, it is a round victory for Aftershock, but Dismay definitely looked poised to take that round. They're opting to go for another play at this B site, and it's not a bad idea as Smelly goes down immediately, and there goes Skilled as well. So Drone needs to go big, and he will get one as this smoke is not covering the complete cross. Will be able to get a second, so making it a 3v3. Sharp, he's got an M4A1S in hand, and we're going to see Drone peek out. Will finally go down, meaning this is a 2v2. Fugly looks to be positioning himself front vent, and we can see that it is already popped, so he won't make any noise doing so, but AKNY will pick off Sharp. Can he get Mr. E as well? USP out, doesn't get it, making it a 1v1. Mr. E could go big with this AWP frag, but doesn't. Misses the play. So Fugly will fall back. And there is plenty of time here for Mr. E to get the bomb down.
Yeah, and I can actually hear the chatter in-game over the voice communications. A lot of miscommunication. And it's actually both teams. There's a lot going on here, but now it's down to this 1v1, Mystery and Fugly, and they're just playing that clock right now. Fugly, I mean, he's looking so good here with his flank. This is total mind games from Fugly here. He's going to be able to push up into heaven. Mystery is not going to see that coming. He's going to toss a nade, though, and give away his position. Fugly with the flash out. He's got a good position. Mystery picking him up, so I think the nade was maybe a little bit foolish. Maybe hoping he could take the player out with the grenade, but it gave away his position. Mystery with an op. Obviously, all he needs to do is hold the peak. And a good ego round there from Dismay, a bit chaotic. And now the money on Aftershock is just all over the place. They're going to be egoing themselves, and we could be seeing another tie score here in round number 20.
Yeah, we certainly could be, and Dismay, they're going to take that kind of ego round any day of the week. That was a good one from them. Even just creating that 1v1, super expensive for the CTs, but never mind. Clutching the round mystery. He had a little bit of a slow start on the CT side of this map, but now he's waking up on that T side when they need it. It is a slow round thus far, as I do believe our T side in Dismay knows that this is an anti-eco. Mystery playing more patient than AKNY. AKNY finally gets antsy, peeks out from his position near Squeaky, who's actually pushed up in a good spot, but didn't work out as he decided he wanted to move, and it is a stack on this B site. Sharp finds that out the hard way, and actually Sobo dropping into checkered means that he might find out as well, but no, ends up getting all three, and it's all up to Fugly here as he's still possessioned inside of heaven. He was able to get Sobo, it meant that he was able to get an AK-47, but isn't going to be the case. A 4K for Sobo, and we have a tie scoreline 10-10, and I don't think we're going to have enough money to see a buy from the CT side.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to have to eco again. Unless they opt to force up, get some FAMASs, it looks like they're going to be going for the 5-7. I think that's a wise decision. You know, it's not like they're down a lot and they have to try and force the issue. It's a close game right now, so it's all about money. It's not about rounds at this point, as it is at 10-10. And we're going to see them stack up over towards A. This worked in one of their ego rounds before, but that was mainly due to the fact that Dismay took huge control over mid and then pushed that right up highway. And right now we see the bomb back on B, and there's only one player in the B bomb site. That is AKNY. He's got a 5-7. Now it's important to note, no kits for Aftershock right now, and two players both buying armor are down, Skillet and Smelly. So it's now a 3 versus 5, and the bomb making its way over towards mid is actually going to go back towards the A bomb site here. So it looks like Dismay definitely capable on cash. They have a very fluid style of offense on the T side. You know, not necessarily dedicating themselves to one site too early on. 50 seconds left on the clock, and the push is on outside from A main.
And drone from Fork. He's going to have to come up big, and he starts things off with a headshot, but doesn't finish the frag. Sobo will flick around and get it, but Fugly, once again, making his presence known. He will get one frag here. We'll see if he's able to retrieve this AK-47, and he does, as that smoke grenade will plume at top of highway. So we do have one rifle. AKNY, he's not done yet. Limezor, though, will force him to be done. So Fugly in a 1v4 has an AK-47. And he's playing in vents, just saving this weapon. But I think you made a great point in Dismay, how they play their T side. A lot of times, like we were saying, when they take mid control, they don't necessarily have a plan after that, they just kind of let the CTs open things up for them, see, and to play things out. And I imagine they have a default. They got 0 picks in mid. Where do we go? They probably have a default from there, but the best play is being adaptable right like that. If they don't even know where they're going, good luck predicting from that CT side.
It's one of those things you can really do on Cash, because the spots for A side and B side from the T's point of view, they're not that far apart. The way this map is designed is there's so many connector points, and that's why mid control is so big, because that just opens up the map even more. But even if you don't dedicate yourself to a push in any direction, because you have the mid garage to rotate through, you can rotate across to the other bomb sites so rapidly, so you can dedicate a presence early on in B, and then opt to push back if they spot the bomb, or keep it, or get a frag and move away. There's just so many mind games that you can play on Cash, and it's one of the reasons I love Cash. I think it's a great map. I personally am not too fond of it as a player, more as a caster, just because I always seem to struggle on Cash. But it is a great map to watch, because when you have a strong in-game leader and a strong team who's very confident on that mental play, it's really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, completely agree. And 50 seconds left. No damage done other than Sobo picking up a nice one there, and he will get traded upon, though. Skillet playing right near Vent, and that's going to prompt a rotate out of the T's. They pick up the bomb and head back towards mid as Limezor has made his way inside of a site. It is yet to be detected, as they're going to be smoking and flashing off, and this might catch Aftershock off guard that he's pushed in this quickly, but definitely they know now that everything's going on. Drone gets one fugly, Drone with a second. Mr. E, though, going massive in a 1v now 2 situation. That flashbang is going to give him information that Fugly is staying here, and he goes down. It's all up to Smelly in a 1v1 where Mr. E has got 3 frags. There's a 1v4, but now we're going to see Smelly moving up towards red box, but Mr. E gets the frag, and what a massive 4K. Dismay steal a round that they had no right in claiming.
And we talked earlier that Mr. E was really struggling. He had a tough time on Nuke, and he had a close round, a really close opportunity to take a 1v1 with Fugly on Ego. Actually, he did end up taking that round, but there was a couple rounds where Mr. E he seemed to miss a couple of crucial shots. This round, not so much. That was a big round from him, clutching it for Dismay, taking them up 2 rounds now over Aftershock. Coming into round number 23, we're going to be seeing a mixed buy from Aftershock, forcing it up just a little bit. 5-7 on Smelly and 3 from Moss. So not necessarily the best buy coming from Aftershock, but they're trying to do what they can to put some damage onto the T-side's money, possibly put themselves at 12-11, because they don't want to let Dismay run away with this.
Yeah, this is a crucial round for them, as their economy, they just forced up, spent all of their money. If Dismay can pick this up, means another eco round coming up next for the CTs, and that could be enough to almost push, obviously, Dismay onto match point. So Skillet gets 1, but the trade always going to benefit the T side of things. Bomb is inside of A main. Limezor will be leading that charge now. Mystery coming to help out as well, and that's a crucial Molotov towards Quad. It's going to push out AK and Y, but they weren't really poised to get the frag once he popped out, and AKNY finally goes down, but a little bit scary there as they Molotov the location, but if you're not watching where he might pop out, it means that he might be able to get a nice peek on you, and that's exactly what happened. But now in a 2v3, this flank from Squeaky needs to come up massive.
Yeah, Smelly with the 5-7s pushing up towards Squeaky right now. Sharp is going to drop 1. He tries to peek Sharp. Sharp turns and takes him down. A nice little 90-degree flick shot from the AK-47. And now that's 13-10. Aftershock not looking so good here. Their money definitely not perfect. And again, they're forcing up, and I really can't advise against this more. To me, this seems like the team now is starting to lose the mental grasp on this game. They see the score line, they see the rounds stacking up for Dismay, and after losing Nuke, they know the position they're sitting in, and they're opting for a force buy as opposed to ecoing because they don't want to let Dismay get to that 14-round line. Personally, I'd rather see them let them get to 14 rounds or go for that eco round and maybe pull it out, then have a perfectly full buy for the next round. I guess it's just a matter of play style, but maybe a bit of a foolish mistake, because if they lose this, they're going to be so broke, they're not going to be able to really afford anything next round, and that could give match point to Dismay.
Yeah, and Sobo will open things up. He snuck all the way up to Highway here, and being that AKNY and Fugly very, very lit, that means that the A site's super vulnerable. But how much do the T's know is the question, as I really feel like the turning point in this match, or this map rather, has to be that 4K clutch from Mr. Ree. That was where the scores were fairly even, but that is a lot of morale lost when you have a round you definitely should have won, and one player on the other side, it goes up huge. So it is going to be a B-side execute. Fortunately for the CTs, their full HP player is in here, but it's not going to be that way for long as Smelly gets sprayed down. Drone goes down, and now it's AKNY. Fugly gets dropped, and he will be able to spot out Mr. E, but Limezor won't miss that shot. 14-10, our scoreline here, and Dismay in a perfect position to close this map in a close the series rather in a 2-0 fashion. The map as 14-10, like I was saying, it's a rough spot for Aftershock. They're going to have to force up once again, and the problem with these forces, like you were highlighting, they aren't able to really get the equipment they were hoping for. So P90 on the field and 3 FAMAS, 5-7 on Fugly. We'll see if they can make it work.
I mean, they're playing off the loss bonus, but it's not working. So, I mean, at this point, they don't have a choice. They don't want to give Dismay 15 rounds, because then it's a 5-round straight just to take it to overtime. And do you really feel confident in your overtime at that point after taking what seemed like a sure thing, getting 8 rounds on the T side of cash? But now they're going for P90 buy. They did get 1 frag early. That's Mr. E down. But they still have a player with just a pistol. And Limezor is going to take out Skillet. That was one of their FAMASs. Sobo gets Smelly as well. That's the P90 down. So now it's a FAMAS, or 2 FAMAS and a pistol. Drone in sight gets 1, traded out by Knife. So now a 3v2. They're going to go for the plant in the B bomb site. AKNY is going to push around quick, drop the bomb before it can get planted. He is going to get taken down by Knife, but these players are lit. Fugly in the 1 versus 2, and this is a big one if he can come up with it. He's got the FAMAS. He is walking ever so carefully, going up towards heaven, and he makes a bit of a stutter step. I think they might have heard that. He knows that bomb is being planted, gets taken down by Limezor. And I don't know if that was just me, but I heard him stutter step for just a second, and it was enough to give them the audible clue. And now 15 rounds to 10. Dismay looking to close this out 2-0 on cash.
Yeah, and Aftershock, they had a great T side, but the problem is they can't make anything happen here. They've only picked up 2 on the CT side, and that could definitely come down to the 2 stand-ins and such, and the lack of communication that could come with that. But AKNY will be able to open up once again, but I do believe he got the opening in that last round, and things still didn't work out in their favor. So we'll see if this round is a little different, as they're fighting for their upper bracket life here. Aftershock will go down to the lower bracket. If they drop this round, Dismay will move on in our upper bracket, as they are putting some emphasis, some noise at least, over towards this A site. Knife peeking out. Can he get the headshot onto AKNY? He cannot, but does put some damage onto him. So 4v5, Limezor and Knife are lit. So we could see Aftershock picking up this round, but the round's still yet to fully develop, as 50 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, and it seems like they might be able to stave it off for another round here as they get that 1 kill, get another one. That's Limezor down, so Sobo and Limezor both off the board. Knife at 56 HP. They're going to be pushing over towards this B bomb site. Drone gets 1, traded out immediately by Mr. E, and now Mr. E, a 1v4 with the AWP in hand, picks out that Tech 9, tries to get a kill, but he is going to be flanked here from mid. We'll see if he can get a kill here. It's going to be a pretty hard situation. 20 seconds left on the clock. He's just trying to survive with this AWP and take it into the next round. Obviously a 5-round cushion. They know exactly what they need to do here. They just need to keep these guns, try and keep the guns out of the hands of Aftershock. He's just trying to do as much economic damage as possible, because they have been force buying round in, round out. And there's just no money left on the CT side. You can see AKNY and Drone both below 4K, 3550 and 3600. It's going to be really hard for them to buy here. But thanks to their teammates, they're going to be having at least a decent buy. Meanwhile, the money on Dismay is stacked to the roof. So they're going to see a full buy for Dismay, a little bit of a mixed buy on Aftershock coming into round number 27.
And mystery being that he could save that AWP. Not that his teammate probably, yeah, definitely has got teammates to buy him, but at least he didn't give it up to the CTs. That's probably the most important thing to note, as that would mean that they've got, obviously, the long-range weapon to utilize in mid, and there's a lot of angles, obviously, on that CT side where it is very potent to be using an AWP. But Mystery actually pushed out all by his lonesome near this B site. He's hoping to catch a player peeking, and Molotov is actually going to force Drone up onto site, but he's still hiding in there. We do see Smelly and Knife are on the bench, so a 4v4, and Mystery still posing a threat. He's called out that he hasn't seen a heck of a lot near this site, although there is 2 CTs ready and waiting, and AKNY takes down 2, so this is the site, and it needs to happen, but Drone comes up big. He's going to get a double kill, AKNY with a triple, so they are definitely fighting for overtime, and you saw almost 200 damage done with nades there. Good play from Aftershock, but Dismay, they still have enough money here, so they're just going to keep hammering away. Hopefully for them, they can close out this map, but Aftershock, they definitely are shooting for overtime.
And they're making a decent case for it here. Their, backs are against the wall, but the money on Dismay is just so good. They're going to be able to buy at least one more round, maybe even 2, before. So if Aftershock can pull off 2 wins, then it's 15-14 and they're facing an eco, or potentially 15-13 facing an eco, depending what happens in these next few rounds as the kills and bomb plants break out. But Aftershock's showing some signs of life here. You don't put baby in the corner, and this is exactly why. Aftershock can't afford to lose a single round here, and they're doing a very great job holding their sights. But here comes the push from Dismay. Out squeaky door. Drone comes up big with the kill, almost gets 2, not able to do much else, but the players on the T side are lit. Sobo at 12, Mystery at 12, Limesor the only one with full HP. AKNY did pick up a frag onto the man that was quad box. Smelly gets 2, and now it's all on Sobo. He's sitting on this box in front of Red Box, gets 1. Will he get another? No, he does not. Another round for Aftershock. A healthy one from Dismay is going to boost their economy just a little bit, picking up 3 frags and the bomb plant. But again, their money, that's going to be the big thing here. Because now they can buy, they're going to maybe be able to buy here and in the next round. So maybe not an eco round for Dismay at all before the potential overtime.
Yeah, if they lose this round coming up here, that would be 4 in a row, so decent loss bonus, and if they can get a bomb plant as well, that'll be great for them. So, Mystery, we can note that he doesn't have an AWP in this round. He's been effective with that. And a boost up quick, though. Dismay working mid, and that seems to be the key to their entry frag here. So, big opening from Dismay. They're able to take control of this real estate. They've got Knife pushed up towards vents. Limesor has dropped down from the boost and Sharp up on the boost. So AKNY does have an AWP in hand. He will be smoked off, though. And this is going to create even more of an opening in mid for them to push up a little closer. But it does look like they're just opting to shift over to this B site. That's obviously one of the benefits, is Knife now will be able to pop this vent drop directly into Checkered. But as of now, we've got AKNY working from CT connector. If they can smoke him off, it's only going to be Skillet in sight. Playing from Generator, and the push is on here. AKNY puts one through the smoke, but misses. Skillet's with 1, but Mr. Reed gets a team frag, and that's not what you want to see at all. We see Sobo, though, picking up 1. Skillet making it work inside of B's site, but Sobo on the flank here. Skillet in a rough spot, has to fall back through the fire and the flames, but that nade will put down Sobo, and Sharp gets a fire frag onto Skillet. So a 1v2. Sharp has the opportunity to end this map, whereas Drone and Fugly want to keep the dream alive here, and that Molotov is going to force him out. He gets the frag, though. Can he get Drone as well? He won't. So Drone will clutch the round and live to see another day, and Aftershock is 1 round away from making this overtime in map number 2.
Wow, this is a very close map here on Gash. 15-14. I don't think that I would have predicted this score based on the first half. I thought Aftershock was going to take it. Dismay showed up in the second half with an excellent T-side, but falling apart towards the latter rounds, and now it is going to be a full buy versus a full buy. No eco rounds, no gimmies here. This is for all the marbles. Either we're going for overtime here, or Dismay is going to take it. And if they do take this map, they will win 2-0 in this best of 3. And right now, Mr. E taking some damage early. AKNY picks up an op kill onto Sobo. It was a bit of a wallbang shot, not sure where it came from, but that is a big way to open up the round for Aftershock, as the opper for Dismay is already down to 59 HP.
Skillet playing from Generator here. Again, the player to be tested, and they found him out already, so rushing into the site. He's not going to have reinforcements. But finally, we will have AKNY. He's just going to push out right through the smoke, and that's a ballsy play, but it will finally work out in 2 frags for him, and that is massive. That's the kind of play that you need to see, and Mr. E goes down sharp in a 1v4. That's going to be it. Aftershock bring it to overtime, as that was such a ballsy play. AKNY with 4 frags. He pushes through the smoke in heaven, and who expects that? Not Dismay. And we are going to overtime. 15-15. We are going to MR3. And of course, Dismay starting off on that T side once again. This will be massive if Aftershock can come back, win this map, put us to Mirage. Because I believe that Dismay, they would be in a mentality where they thought they had that map won. But Aftershock, they have life in them yet.
Really, a lot of that is on Knife. Knife had AKNY dead to rights. AKNY misses his shot. Knife sitting in pit, spamming away with that AK. Just couldn't take him down. And then AKNY came up with 2 quick frags. And that basically sealed their fate. So now it is overtime. Aftershock needs to keep their pedals or pressed to the floor here. They cannot give Dismay any room. They need to close this out and take it right into map number 3.
And we're live here on the first round of this overtime. Everything reset, and Dismay, like I was saying, they're still on that T side. You start on the side that you just finished on. So with that momentum from Aftershock and the amount of clutches they've had on the CT side, imagine they're going to be happy, as starting off on their stronger side here. But I say that, but they did get quite a few rounds pretty even in terms of obviously 8-7, 8-7. But they fought back at least in that round, and Skillet, ooh, this is a beautiful boost, and he's going to get a freebie, make it, won't be able to get 2. Limes are very lit though. Skillet knew that. He might have pushed out and got aggressive, but falls back nonetheless. That is a good pick to start off this round, but Knife pushed up at Highway. It is going to be an A-side play here.
Yeah, with that 1 player down, it's going to be hard. Knife is going to do what he can, though. Takes out Smelly. Makes it a 4v4 here. There's a man in Squeaky Door. That's Mr. E getting a big one on Quad Box, but it's now all on him. 10 HP, and Aftershock keeps it going here. 16-15 winning the first round of this overtime match between Aftershock and Dismay. Reminder, guys, this is map number 2. Dismay took the first one, and really heavily as well. So Aftershock looking pretty good here to take this as well. If they take the first one, I would be pumped if we can get a map number 3. This has been such a good match, much better than the first map. Aftershock obviously trying to keep this going here, winning the first round. They need to win the second one as well, possibly win out the half. And they did have a very impressive T-side in the first half of this map, so hopefully if they take all 3, they'll be able to close it out, and we will be seeing that map number 3.
Yeah, which will be Mirage, and will knife for sides there, so there's no default as to who starts on that stronger side on CT. So knifing will be epic. And then, as now we've got the bomb. It is situated right outside of B, and Limes are in Sharp looking to perform the wall of smoke out mid, means that they can drop into Checkered. And Smelly from sight will have some backup in Skillet. They're playing different positions to what we've traditionally seen. Skillet not a generator any longer. Smelly playing from the main bomb box here. He gets 2 of them. Sobo forces his way up into sight, but now the crossfire. Limeser has no idea where that came from. We'll be able to do a full 180. AKNY gets absolutely dropped up in heaven. And now it's a 2v2. The bomb has been planted. Fugly and Drone, the last two up, and definitely they've done work in this match thus far. We'll see if they can retake. Limesore on 24. Sharp close around this corner, and Drone isn't careful. He's going to get his head taken off. That nade means he's close, but Drone will peek out. Drone gets both.
Wow.
What a play. Nade, and then finishes things off with a beautiful peek underneath heaven, and another round for Aftershock means that they are well on their way to winning out the CT half.
Wow, what a play. AKNY took so much molly damage in upper. They must have double mollied. He got blinded, and he was just sitting and firing none the wiser. Was taken down to 32 HP, and because of that, he played so cautiously. Ended up not getting a kill and got his head cleaned off. But big play there from Drone, the nade, and the polish off of the last player. So now Aftershock 2 rounds up right now in the first half of overtime here on map number 2. They're looking to close this out 3-0, and that would be a big play if they could make it happen. And I would like to think that if they close this out 3-2 or 3-0, that would be map number 3. But you never know. I've seen some crazy comebacks where the team can pull the same thing and we can go back into overtime number 2. AKNY starting things out by dropping Mr. E. Skillet is going to get taken out by Sharp, though. So it's now 4-on-4. No real clear direction from Dismay just yet. Opting to play picks and try and take their time here. There's plenty of time left on the clock, 1 minute and 3 seconds. Sharp, another frag on the round. That's AKNY down. Knife is going to get traded out by Drone, though, so now a 3v3, but it looks like the bomb is going to be planted over on B. Smelly drops out of vent, takes out Limesore, makes it a 3v2. So now they're going to have to commit to this plant, and the rotate is on. We'll see if Dismay has what it takes to hold it, or if Aftershock is going to take the first half 3-0 in overtime number 1.
When Fugly starts things off, making it a 1v3, and Zobo tries to connect onto Smelly, puts him down to 20 HP, but won't be enough, as that is going to be our first half of play, concluding 18 on the board for Aftershock, still 15 for Dismay. So Dismay needs to win out the CT half to make it double overtime. They have no opportunity to finish this map in this single overtime, so we'll see here if Aftershock has what it takes. They had a solid T-side on this map. There's no reason they shouldn't be able to get that single round. So match point from here on out for Aftershock. Dismay fighting against moving to that third map. And we were talking about the mentality earlier of how does that feel? You were so close to closing this 2-0, and now you're going to that third map 1-1, knifing for sides. If you get thrown on that T-side, that's definitely a rough spot as you're fighting your way back in that third map. But I'm sure both of these teams are completely game for such a feat, and we are live in our second half of overtime here.
Look at the spread across the scoreboard. I know I want to mention this real quick. The talent across both teams is exceptional. All these players are pretty much evenly balanced, so that is pretty awesome to see. You don't really see that too often. Things are already down to a 3-man hold for Dismay. Sobo, Knife, and Mystery, the last ones left standing. Limesore and Sharp were taken out quickly. AKNY, the only one dead for Aftershock. So Drone, Skillet, Smelly, and Fugly trying to make their way into B. Knife gets one. That Skillet down, goes for the second, not able to make it happen. Drone takes him out. Sobo, sitting in that smoke, is going to see what he can do. Mystery in upper with an M4. No AWP this time for him. And they are going to get that bomb plant here, so it's a 2v3 retake right now. Molly's going to rain out into heaven from Fugly, and this is going to be a difficult one to retake as Smokes and Molly's just raining out from Aftershock. They got to make a commitment soon. Flash out from Dismay. Sobo gets one. Mystery is dropped by Fugly, and now it's all on Sobo. Well, 1v2. He's got to come up with this if this map's going to continue. He's not able to get the frag onto Fugly. Fugly just toying with him at this point. Fugly gets dropped, but Smelly comes in and closes it out, so Aftershock taking map number 2 there. We are going to be going to map number 3 after an impressive game from Aftershock, really picking up speed in the latter half. 19-15, so map number 3, here we come.
Yeah, map number 3 indeed, and that does give you guys an opportunity to still get in on our Twitter giveaway here. Affluent Designs, they have beautiful AWP Man-O-War up for grabs, so all you need to do is follow them, which is Affluent Designs, and go RGN TV, and then retweet the specific op tweet as well. So anyhow, that is going to be it for map number 2. We're going to take a very short break here, but when we return, Mirage as our map number 3. All right, so we are back, guys. We've got a match on our hands. Map number 3 about to get started here, but the knife round, oh, so important, as looks like is going in the favor of Dismay. So that's going to be Dismay picking up that knife round. Means that they can choose which side they start on. Wouldn't be a surprise at all. Yep, they're starting on that CT side. So they're going to be happy about that, starting on the favored side, as they did drop that last map. It was very close for them, but ended up going to overtime, and a flawless overtime score for Aftershock. So they came back in, and here we are. I am Sprawl. On my side is Bach. I'm just waiting for these players to ready up now, right before we get started in the pistol round on Mirage.
Whew. What a game this turned out to be. You know, after watching these players duke it out on Nuke, it really did not look like Aftershock had what it take to take this game. But they showed up on Cash, which was their map selection, and then Dismay had a nice T-side as well, and it ended up going into overtime. Aftershock closing things out, though, 4-0 in overtime. That's got to be in their head, replaying over and over. They're going to be feeling super confident coming into this. But again, they're starting on the slightly disadvantaged side, which would be the T side on Mirage. It's not necessarily the most CT-sided map, but this map does require one thing: tons of coordination. Smoke play on Mirage is big, and because they're using fill-ins with AKNY and Fugly, I'm not really sure how that's going to play out. That said, set strats seem to work okay, and smokes, it doesn't really matter how you throw them as long as you know how to throw them. So, if you know the smokes for Mirage, which most of these players should based on the popularity of the map, we should see a pretty even battle here between these two teams.
Yeah, I agree. They should, like you were saying, they should know those smokes just from being experienced players, but definitely kind of prevents the adaptable play where mid-round you can change things up. So we might see some set strats from Aftershock here, but we are just waiting for this to go live into pistol round, but this does give me an opportunity for some plugs, so make sure you guys are checking out our Twitter giveaway, Fluent Design. They are giving away that AWP Man of War, so follow them on Twitter as well as go RGN TV. Retweet the specific tweet that mentions that Man of War AWP, and that is all you need to do. We'll be announcing the winner at the end of this broadcast here. But on top of that, we also have the Facebook giveaway, GTX 960 video card. It is going to be given away on February the 15th. To enter that, all you need to be doing is like the RGN Facebook page as well as Cyberware LLC. So big props and thanks to those two companies for the sponsorship. We really do appreciate the support, and thanks again to all of you lovely people for tuning in. We've had some awesome viewership tonight, and we're definitely hoping you guys have enjoyed everything thus far, even though definitely some tense betting on the line here. So we are still just waiting for these last two players to ready up, and then pistol round will go live. But we're just gonna have to wait and see what they're waiting for here. Because I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. I heard them saying something in chat about like a PC issue. Someone was having problems, but I don't remember when I saw that, and I could just be imagining things. I'm running on 2.5 hours of sleep, and I've been awake since 7 a.m. my time. It's now 2 a.m. So I am getting a little loopy. I was not anticipating this game taking as long as it has. You know, the game going to overtime definitely delays things, but we are going into the pistol round here, so hold on tight.
Hold on tight indeed, as pistol round about to go live here. Dismay versus Aftershock, map number 3. Upper bracket life on the line. We've got a kit on Sharp, but that's actually a kit on Knife as well, so playing up very safe, being that obviously the site's a little bit far from each other. They want to make sure that they've got one in either location, but on the T side, we've got armor on 3 of them. Fugly is going to be working the utility here, so let's see where his smoke is going to land, as we'll be sending that off, and it does look like it will be a smoke on top of stairs. So they got jungle smoke as well. Here they go. Rush into this site, and Mr. Ryu doing lots of damage. Only gets one, though, as Skillet will trade him off. And still alive in sight, though, actually, at CT stairs. It's going to be Limesor, and he spots the bomb planter, but isn't able to make anything happen. Well, he does make a little bit happen. At least we're in a 1v2 situation. Fugly alive. And this is going to be massive, though. Sobo on the flank. Fugly will go down to Sharp, so it doesn't even matter. But a good attempt at the pistol round for Aftershock. Dismay, though, will have their way and start off this third map the way they want it.
And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of information about these two teams when it comes down to this map. Aftershock has yet to play this in their current season in ESEA. Dismay also has yet to play this in their current season of ESEA. We saw them play it in our last tournament. They won their first game in overtime over Incursion, and then lost to Incursion in the lower bracket, 16-5 on Mirage. So I'm not really sure what to expect from either team, but right now Dismay starting out with that pistol round W, but they're going to see the eco round from Aftershock just barreling out of apartments right now in B. Tech 9 in hand. The first frag is for Sobo. That's Skillet down. Sharp gets one onto Drone as well. Nades and stuff going to rain out into sight as Sobo gets another one. That's Smelly down. Fugly out with the Tech 9. Gets one, gets two. Those are two big frags. Going to go for the third, but the P90 of Limesor is just too strong. Bomb did get planted by AKNY, and he's going to get a frag as well. A very successful eco round here from Aftershock, picking up 3 frags and a bomb plant over on B. So not exactly ideal for Dismay, but they do come out with that much-needed W. They're going to be sitting up 2-0 here coming into the third round. And the money not looking so great after not getting that plant in the first round. Oh, no, they did get the plant, so they could potentially force buy with Galil's here, but I'd imagine they're going to go for the wise play here and save that buy for round number 4.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the case, as once again we've got 2 Tech 9s on the field, 3 P250s, but definitely a great strategy. Just rush your way into that B site, and they're opting for it here once again. Grenades will rain in, so already Sobo getting one and doing good damage to 2 others, and that's going to be Sharp helping out, finishing those frags. Fugly, last one alive, did good damage last round. We'll only get 1 here, so a lot better of an anti-eco as this may seem like they were much more prepared for that B side execute. The Tech 9 rush through apps, definitely a solid strat, and we see a lot of teams just default to that. If they don't know what to do and it's an eco, let's just rush through B apps, try make something happen, and being that the Tech 9's pretty darn powerful, it works out a lot of the time.
And that's kind of the thing that I'm concerned about with Aftershock, is that when you see a team play with a more like pug lineup, and that's kind of what they are with 3 players from the team and then 2 fill-ins, the strategies start to wear very thin when it comes to ecos and light rounds. And you can see it, both eco rounds there, they just barrel out a B with Tech 9s. And that seems to be a somewhat standard eco round for Mirage. It's just, oh, let's just rush B with Tech 9s and see what we can make happen. Obviously, it almost worked the first time, didn't work so much the second time, but they're going to be pushing towards A right now. In the first buy round, Mr. E is going to get the first frag. That's Skillet down. There's a man under balcony and a man cubby. That's Limesor. Smelly knows he's there. He's going to go for the peek. Pre-fires him, takes him down. Drone also getting one. That's Sharp. Knife peeking out from that smoke underneath balcony. He was pulling a bit of hotbox action, smoking himself out under the balcony. Gets another one. That's Drone. Knife coming in with the help, takes out Fugly. So now it's all on AKNY. Playing up towards Connector. He's got the AK in hand. And it's a 1v3. Knife, Mystery, and Sobo all at 100 HP. He's going to be able to spot that barrel of Mystery. Knife with the flash around the corner does a little bit of damage, but Mystery comes in and finishes him off. So a decent round there from Aftershock, but not enough to make it happen. So 4-0 is going to be the score.
Yeah, there was some good picks there, but inevitably it comes down to that hotbox now, doesn't it? Love
That's
that.
something that I've done myself on Eco, is just smoke up underneath balcony and everyone stacks in there. So it's become the hotbox strategy.
Just gotta watch out for the cops, right? But
Exactly.
which are the CTs, obviously. But anyhow, we are live here, round number 5. Mr. E will open things up. Top mid player goes down, and Now we've got Smelly and Drone working towards underpass, and the problem now is that they're going for that quarterback sneak, where they've got the bomb positioned over towards A, but the rest of the T's over towards B. The issue is, they've already lost a player in AKNY, and now they are completely spread out. So the bomb actually opting to head back towards them. I imagine that was originally the strategy, is sneaking that bomb in for a plant, but now it has changed to, let's just go back to rush into B and see what we can make happen. Sobo waiting for this play, and Limesor getting one out mid means that only 3 players about to bust through. Sobo gets spotted out, though, and good damage done. They're going to try and hunt, and Fugly will drop Sharp, so that opened things up completely. A 3v3 here. Bomb has been planted. Mr. E holding an angle with his AWP from Market. Now we'll be moving up, and Limesor from window. They're going to try and retake together, but oh, that's a great shot from Fugly once again. He gets another, and it's all on to Knife, but Fugly puts him down as well. Is that a 4K with headshots from a Deagle? Are you kidding me, Fugly?
Yeah, Fugly obviously pulling his weight here. What do you say? He is just insane. Great player. Obviously, that's why he plays for that top-tier team known as Liquid. And he's a very promising North American talent, still very young. Got plenty of years of Counter-Strike left under his belt. But that's the first round for Aftershock. And that is going to put Dismay onto the eco already here in round number 6.
Where's the play gonna be? Limes are actually pushed up all the way into Palace, so the problem with this A take is they've put no one in Palace, therefore leaving this open for Limesor to take a peek. So right now, does look like Fugly is keen to this though, as he's positioned himself accordingly. Now falling back with the bomb though means that Limesor, he's actually just gonna stay posted up in this position, hoping that at some point they rotate back over and he can take advantage. But on the other side of the map, Sobo is looking to get aggressive. So now drops down an underpass. They're gaining a lot of information. But where do they stack? And it does look like, obviously, they've got an A-side stack. Sobo now positioned in underpass, hoping for a player to take from mid to connector. Aftershock just working very slow. They realize this is an important round. They cannot afford to drop this to an eco. And looks like they're just going to opt to go for a B-side play once again. And luckily for them, there's not a single CT over there.
They're being very smart here. You know, when you watch a lot of teams face against an eco round, they try and get a little kill hungry. But look at this flank already. Sobo gonna catch AKNY off guard. He's gonna pick up that off. That could be a huge mistake here. Aftershock, the slow play was smart, but AKNY just getting caught off guard by Sobo. Sobo's just gonna keep that gun as Knife picks up another frag. That's Fugly down. And it's a 3v3, but at this point, economic damage is the name of the game for Dismay. They're fine letting Aftershock get another round. They just want to pull some more rifles out of their hands. Limesor found an AK. Sobo found an AWP, so I'd say that's already a pretty decent eco round from them. If Knife can pick up one more here, perhaps this man pushing up Cat, that Smelly, goes for the jump P250, not going to happen. And now he's stuck out in mid with the P250. He's going to try and come up with a frag, goes for the peek. Doesn't come up with anything. Oh, and Limesor drops the AK as well, but the AWP's still in the hands of Sobo, so a big save there from him on that wonderful flank in the Palace.
Yeah, now round number 7 about to go live. They're able to toss that AWP to Mr. E. And he's going to be opting to utilize that at the A site. A quick play. They're just going to go right for it. And Aftershock and Smelly goes down very early. Knife will get one as well, but Drone and AKNY plus Fugly all get frags of their own. So a round that looked a little bit worrisome when they started pushing out has completely turned around. And the trade frags, oh so key in this game called Counter-Strike on that T side. They make it work, and now Sharp, he's looking for something, and actually he just put some damage onto Drone. I was like, how in the heck did he find me there? But through the smoke, we'll be able to put a bit of damage. But Sharp in a location where he is just going to save this weapon. And Aftershock putting a third round on the board. Fugly going massive for them right now. 12-1 and 5. He's definitely the difference maker, as he is double the score of everybody in the server right now.
And I think if you add up the frags for the rest of his team, it's not even the same. Let's see, 4-2. Yep, yeah. He's got more frags than the rest of his team combined.
Yeah, it's a good spot to be in. It's a good spot to be in, as I do believe he's a few hours of flying out to the Katowice offline qualifiers.
Sharp, the only player with a rifle right now for Dismay, the M4A1. He's got some grenade play as well, body armor, and a defuse kit. Limesword down already. Fugly with a nice headshot. Fugly is really pulling his weight right now. Knife taking a nade down to 30 HP. He's trying to hold this corner with the P250. He's going to hit in the face with a flash. Drone takes him down from, I believe that was Connector. Possibly Ramp. Fugly, another frag as Sharp goes down. Sobo rushing around with his knife in hand. He's going to try and get into window if he can. AKNY very close with an AWP. Hits the shot. And now it's on Mr. E, who's on the hard flank here with the 5-7. He's obviously just hoping to get one. They haven't even gotten a single kill in this eco. So Aftershock looking poised to tie this up here with a clean sweep in round number 8.
Yeah, and that's great on the T side as AKNY just runs straight into Palace and drops Mr. E. So 4-4, definitely a solid position for Aftershock, as this is a CT-sided map. And Dismay, they haven't been holding very well, though. We saw that they were able to obviously take pistol and the 3 rounds thereafter, but it's been all Aftershock since. 4 rounds in a row. Looking like they're trying to get a pick up quick at A ramp. AKNY was the one trying to deliver that, but won't be able to make anything happen here. So now, falling back, we've got Drone working right behind Fugly and Palace, and the bomb is on Skillet, and he's just holding this corner, waiting for someone to get aggressive. But it's not going to be the case. AWP once again on Mr. E. They do have 3 people on this A site. We'll see if it ends up being enough. Smelly now putting some pressure on this B site. He's peeking through Abs. Sobo is here, but how long does Sobo wait, as he's actually going to be... Well, it's a decoy that he has in hand, actually, not a flash. So peeking out, that will be Smelly going down. The A side push underway. We see Fugly getting a frag onto Knife. Drone down to 9 HP will be disposed of, as Mr. E gets another onto AKNY, all down to Fugly in this 1v4, and Mr. E goes huge with the triple kill, stuffs that push onto the A side, and Dismay finally put another round on the board, as, like I was saying, 4 in a row for Aftershock. Dismay had to answer.
Yeah, but the money on Aftershock is very good right now, so they're going to be able to buy up for the foreseeable future, probably the next 2 or 3 rounds. And then some. You see Drone at 8K. Fugly, even though he's been doing so well at 3,900, probably been buying for his teammates because of the fact that he's been doing so well. And he is still out-fragging the rest of his team combined. They're sitting at 14 kills, just 1 below. But an impressive performance here right now, 15-6. And it's only round 10. So he is looking like a very strong player. He hasn't necessarily showed up in these other games. I mean, he's made his presence known, but he hasn't been quite the force that maybe people would have expected. But definitely on Mirage, showing up huge for Aftershock.
Yeah, and it looks like Sobo's getting aggressive up mid. It's going to give him some information. But we'll fall back here as he hears AKNY spamming through in apartments. Will be an A-side play once again, though. Smelly gets the opening frag onto Knife, playing underneath balcony. That's a very crucial frag, as now Drone gets a team kill. Will and Limezor at the same time. So Mr. E fires through the smoke, hoping to land a shot here, and that looked like it was on Drone, actually, but won't actually connect. Sharp goes down, and it's a 1v4 where Mr. E needs to go massive once again, but Fugly will get that peak and frag. 5-5. Dismay dropped that round, and this is not looking good at all. If you can make this a dogfight on that T side where you are kind of going round for round, shot for shot, always going to favor that T side, especially once the T side picks up 4 in a row. Look at the money situation. We still have an insane amount on that T side.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 11K on Drone right now. And even the players that are sitting a little lower, like Fugly, who's at 3,750, that's still really good money. because that guarantees a bye in the next 2 rounds based on what happens. So Aftershock getting the opening frag here in B. Smelly takes out Sharp. So now the rotate is on. Limesor, he spots out Smelly. Smelly, I don't know if Smelly didn't see him or if he just realized, hey, I have the bomb. I'm supposed to plant that, right? So he goes back into sight, gets the bomb plant. Instead of getting that frag on the man pushing over towards Market, he's going to opt to go towards Get Right spot, but before he can get there, sees a man on Cat. Taken down by Drone. Skillet gets one as well. That's Mr. E, and now it's down to Knife and Sobo here. A 2v5 if AKNY and Fugly can get frags. That would be the team ace, something we haven't seen in quite some time. But again, not really thinking it's going to happen as AKNY is already in T-spawn with that AWP and Tech-9 in hand. Smelly knows there's a player in ladder room, goes for the peek. Sobo can't get him. So now it's on Knife. Knife with a P250 and underpass might be able to spot a player out here on Cat. Saw that man jump across into window, but just a little too late. Takes out Skillet in mid, though, and repeaks dropped by Fugly. But a nice little bit of damage there done. Not quite what you would want from an eco, but the one frag is definitely better than the goose egg.
Certainly better than that. And round 12 underway. Aftershock looking solid on their T side. 6 rounds is definitely great for them. Dismay, on the other hand, they need to answer with some consecutive rounds if they want to keep this close. Otherwise, Aftershock, with the amount of money that they have, they can pretty much buy out for the rest of the half, and that's very difficult for the CTs to deal with. But Fugly being dropped early on, if you could pick any player to take out of this round, Fugly would be number 1, no questions asked. So him going down means that Dismay, they have the man advantage. Bomb still located right outside of A ramp. But with a minute left, they haven't fully committed to this quite yet.
Yeah, they're working that slow play, knowing that they have the clock on their side. 50 seconds left. Fugly is down already, which is a big death for Aftershock. 17-7, the top fragger. Not outpacing the rest of his team anymore, but still doing a ton of work for them. And AKNY is going to go down as well to the FAMAS of Sharp. They're pushing in towards A. Drone spots a flash coming out from underpass. That's Knife. They know the player is there. He's going to go for the peek. Smelly takes him out as well as Limesor makes it a 3v3. Sobo on the rotate gets one from Connector, but the last man standing, actually the last man standing, I should have said Insight, is dropped. Sharp and Mr. E. Mr. E gets a big op kill onto Skillet and Drone. Mr. E just doing work with that op. Picking up 2 frags there, and big ones at that. Dismay is going to tie it up 6-6, but the money on Aftershock is something we keep harping upon, because despite the fact that they've lost around here or there, they have more than enough to buy. And look at Drone at 16K. When was the last time you saw a player at 16K and they were 7-7? It's been a while.
Yeah, that's great spot, plenty of money, and no AWP. They're opting to just fully rifle up. We are in round 13, tie score line, but on a CT-favored map. That is definitely looking good for Aftershock. That being said, who knows what Dismay has in store, as we've seen strong T-sides throughout this map, or rather the series, other than maybe, I guess, Nuke, you could say, but we didn't really get to see a lot of T-side from one of these teams, so looks like another A-side execute. AKNY has pushed up underneath underpass, and little does he know that Sharp has spotted him out. But the way that he spammed like that, he did get some damage done, but 36 still left on the player there. Slowly creeping up, we see Fugly very, very threatening in this Palace position. With 17 frags already, he's been going off on this map, and once again, AKNY still in mid. He will be able to help out from Connector if they do execute here, and they are going to. Drone comes out, will get dropped, and Dismay making short work of this push, but AKNY has something to say about it. He gathers 2 frags for himself. Smelly's still alive, but very low HP as 30 seconds left on this clock. You see all the CTs have swarmed around this A site. They know the general location, and that is going to be enough. Dismay end the round, making it a round lead in their favor. Like we were saying, 6 rounds on that T side. That is still a great position, even if they finish the half with that score.
Absolutely. 6 rounds, pretty healthy. 5 rounds is somewhat standard. Anything less, not necessarily ideal, but 6 rounds on the T side on Mirage is pretty good. And, I mean, anything they can add to it at this point is going to be icing on the cake. They're going to put an AWP back in the hands of AKNY. Their money is starting to dwindle a little bit. They do have some players sitting a little low on the cash side, but if they can get a bomb plant here, that will remedy that situation perfectly. Looks like they're going to be opting for a B play here, and there is a 2-man hold. That is Sobo and Sharp. Sobo by Van, Sharp by the bench. Sobo catching a nade down to 65 HP already. Smokes and flashes rain out into Palace, or I should say B apartments. Palace confuses people just a little bit too much. And here comes the push over on A, and I believe that would be a decoy. A bomb is still in mid. They're not really picking anything. Fugly, though, obliterates the B defense. Mystery jumping out a window, knows Fugly is there. Fugly is actually turned into the decoy here, holding off Mystery, and oh my god, Fugly picks up another one. A 3K for him. Knife waiting outside of market right now. The last man standing as AKNY polishes off Limesor. Knife finally stops Fugly's rampage, but he's all the way over by B. Bomb making its way towards A. Aftershock with an excellent play here. Fugly just doing complete and utter annihilation over on B. Bomb planted, and I would imagine that Knife is going to try and save this AK, as the money on the CT side of Dismay is not that good. They want to save that one for the final round.
Oh, AKNY, though, he will spot off this player, and Knife will get shot. 42 HP. Can he hold on to this weapon as AKNY says no? Gets him through the wall. And definitely, if you've got a player as hot as Fugly, you just send him off in one direction and hope for the best. And the best equals 3 frags right there as he opens up that site all alone. And you can't argue with those kinds of results. Definitely Fugly making a difference in this third map. 20 frags on him right now. I'd like to say that we might be seeing similar things from Aftershock with their regular player, but who knows? Drone, though, opening up the site. Definitely we've seen Drone be a crucial part of this team and their success in this best of 3, but it's looking like another Aftershock round, last round of the half here. Not a lot of weaponry on that CT side, and we're seeing Sharp fall into this 1v4. Can he get AKNY?
Sharp had quite a hill to climb there, but AKNY polishing it off. Dismay and Aftershock really duking it out. This is a slug match. It looked like it was just going to be an easy win for Dismay after their impressive performance on Nuke, but Aftershock showed up on Cash, and that really helped their mental state, their confidence, and it's showing here on Mirage right now. 8-7 after starting on the T side. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the second half.
Yeah, me as well. We're about to go live into it, and it will be... actually, I was going to say the last half of the night, but we could go to overtime, and there would be more halves there, so not exactly a true statement. 8-7, though, another close score line. We saw 8-7 on Cash, and it went both ways that way. So it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities that we see an overtime on this third and final map. Thus far, definitely 8 on the T side for Aftershock. That is a massive scoreline moving into the CT side, and if Fugly individually can play the way he did on that T side, that's going to be great for them, but the rest of the team, Skillet, especially on 4 frags, needs to wake up a little bit, especially if Fugly doesn't come in guns a-blazing like he did in that T side. So just another heads up, guys, we do have that Twitter giveaway ending after this map. So that is going to be Affluent Designs. Make sure you guys give them a follow as well as Go RGN TV on Twitter, and then retweet the Man O' War. But here we go, second half. So pistol round going live. We'll see what kind of gear they are going for on that CT side. They actually opt to... No, it will be a kit on Smelly. So they have 1, whereas we saw on the Dismay side, they opted for 2 So a bit of differences, obviously, but looks like we're going to have a bomb play over towards this B site. Mr. E getting ready to smoke off, imagine, connector from this position, but hasn't done it quite yet. It will be flying on over, so yep, will be a connector smoke. And that prompts Sharp to actually push up, and he's going to meet up with Mr. E to make it a cat play. So a split B, we're going to see if this works out for them. Smoking apps means that they're going to have to run through it. Drone with one. Fugly goes down, though, uncharacteristically getting 0 frags. As we've seen his pistol work be very good, but Skillet answers with that HE grenade, making it now a 1v2, but it will be the T-sided Dismay picking up pistol, and that could be the momentum they need to start off this half in a convincing fashion.
Now, that's exactly what they needed to start the half. They needed that pistol round to tie things up, give them a bit of an advantage, a leg up on the competition here for the first few rounds of the second half, and maybe they can carry that momentum and try and take the lead to a more sizable number. But Aftershock, after having a really strong T side, you wonder what they're going to bring to the table on the CT side. It is tied up 8-8, and look at the stack over on A from Aftershock. Bomb positioned more for a B take, but I imagine they're going to fall back, wrap towards A as they have 2 players down on ramp, and it does look like that's what's going to happen. We see the 5-man and the 2-man just sitting back deep in mid over by T-Spawn. Meanwhile, one is creeping his way up towards connector. That would be Mr. E. So really no commitment from Dismay right now, but based on what I'm seeing, this will be an E play, and they could be walking, or an A play, and walking right into the blender that Aftershock has set up.
Here we go. We've got Limes who are trying to put some pressure on this A site, but will go down as a nade puts drone away. Some trades back and forth make this a 3v3. Fugly still alive up in Palace, one of the ones to watch out for, but from connector, Mr. E hits a nice shot onto Skillet. And it's going to be AKNY coming in from behind, and realizing, I'm not going to lie, someone from chat makes a lot of sense. I think we should be saying that Acme. That makes way more sense. And it's going to be 2 players left up for Dismay. And you do have to, yeah, give us a little bit of credit. We try with the pronunciation. But Acme, I can see it. I can see it. We know now. So thank you very much. We try our best here, but when they separate the words especially, I'm going off of all I know, and it's not a heck of a lot. So 18th round underway. 9-8 is our score line. Another eco round for the CTs in Aftershock, and they're opting to swap things up. Let's stack that B site instead.
Yeah, that was a close round there from Aftershock. They almost pulled that off, but it sort of fell apart there. I thought that they would do a little bit more damage based on the stack they had, but it does look like they weren't able to pull it off here. So Dismay, 9 rounds to 8. They're coming into the final anti-eco here. AKNY starting things off, dropping Limezor. Sobo trades him out. So now it's a 4v4, and the bomb is pushing over towards A, and look at what Aftershock has done, the opposite of what they did in the last round. Instead of stacking A, they've stacked B. So a bit of a misplay here from them as the bomb is making its way over towards A. They were trying to predict what was going to happen, and it doesn't happen. Fugly picks up a Galil thanks to the kill onto Sharp. He's going to push out of connector and up the stairs. Try and spot one out, and he does, seeing the head of Mr. E, but not able to find that shot. Here comes the push from the CT. Smelly wrapping around into sight. Gets taken down, as does Drone and Fugly. Now it's on Skillet here. 1v3 with the P2000. No defuse kit. So now 10-8 is the score for Dismay. And they got to be pleased with that, but they're going to be coming into the first buy round for Aftershock. So it'll be interesting to see how these two teams stack up.
Yep, and going back to AKNY, as I've been severely trolled. But that's what happens. I'm gullible at this time. So we're here, round 19. 10-8 is our score line. Rifles on both sides of the field. Some economy here starting to build up on that T side, as obviously they're able to pick up those first 3 rounds. So this is Aftershock's opportunity. First one with rifles in their hands in this half. So we'll see what kind of play Dismay opts to utilize. At the moment, though, They do have a number of players still in T-spawn, and being that the bomb's rotating with it, does look like they'll be situating towards A. We've got Smelly and Skillet playing on this site. Smelly in a nice position on this pipe box halfway up. He can kind of switch his focus back and forth between a number of different locations, whereas Skillet underneath Palace, he's just kind of waiting for them to come out of a ramp. So 50 seconds left on the clock. Smoke's finally being tossed into the site. The rush underway. We'll see if Skillet can come up big. He's got to make it happen here. So he will get blinded though, and Sharp gets that frag easily. AKA NY will get one. Smelly with one, but they go down, and now it's only Fugly in a 1v3. He'll flash his way into CT spawn, but now realizing that that might not be the best spot to go, as he's given away his location. Goes back towards jungle. No kit in hand, but I do believe that if he searches around a little bit, he might be able to find one. I'm searching around myself, and I honestly don't see a single one, so maybe actually they didn't have enough money to get any. I honestly didn't see that detail or not, but Fugly will be opting to save here, as he could do some economic damage, especially if he comes up behind Dismay, but might just opt to stick around, and he will peek out, sees Sharp, but yeah, he's smart enough not to peek that again, and he will be able to take that M4 into the next round here.
It was a nice little decoy play there. He tossed that flash and then wrapped towards window. They had no idea he was there, and you can see it in chat. They're haha sneaky. The whole idea was to catch them off guard, but he just couldn't find anyone peeking out. He wanted to get an exit frag or two and just never found it. It was a smart play, but unfortunately for Fugly, it just didn't work out. So Dismay now up 3 rounds over Aftershock. Aftershock gonna eco. The only gun on the board is Fugly's M4, which he was able to save from the last round. And again, they're going for a somewhat default setup here. 2-man ramp, 1 Palace, 1 deep mid, and 1 back by B apartments. Sobo and Limesor pick up the early frags here. Fugly on balcony is gonna have to come up huge. Drone is going to get one. That's Sobo off the board. And Bomb is making its way over towards A ramp right now. There's a 2-man hold there. The only man on B has pushed out of sight. That is AKNY. And he might be able to come up big here if he can get in time for the flank. Meanwhile, Drone sitting on triple. He's going to kind of bait out Fugly. Fugly goes down. Mystery gets a nice headshot onto his own teammate before taking down Drone. So now it's on AKNY versus 3 pretty well HP'd terrorists, and that is not a word, but it doesn't matter. AKNY with 5-7 spots the head of Knife, and now it's a 1v2. He's going to pick up that AK, and I think he might try to just save it here. Nope, he's going to go for the peek. Spots that man out. Ticket booth, that's Sharp. Flashes out. Now he's going to save 14 HP, no kit. He knows exactly what's going to happen here. Maybe just try and get some exit frags as these players come out of the site. But they're both going to fall back wisely towards CT spawn and mid. So a decent round there from Aftershock, considering it was an eco, but not coming up with a victory, giving Dismay a 4-round pad now. And unfortunately, AKNY taken out by Sharp as he tries to make away with that AK. So they're going to have to buy that round or that rifle back up. But the money on Aftershock is looking pretty good right now based on the fact that they have won. They've lost, what is that, 7 in a row, 4 since half.
I believe it's 5 since half. I believe. At least that's what my graph is telling me.
Counting is really hard.
Well, we're giving you a break because it is super late your time, and like you said, only getting 2 hours of sleep. I would be dead on my keyboard right now, so props to you, as I would not be able to do the same kind of thing. But we do see a Scar 20 on AKNY, and that's a very expensive purchase that means he won't be able to get any kind of utility behind it, only the Scar 20 in hand, but looking towards an optimal direction, he will be holding a ramp, and that does look like where we've got a majority of the T players stacking up. Mystery will be working Palace once again. The smoke about to dissipate means that the Molotov will be able to be used, and now Skillet underneath the balcony might get flushed out by this. So it does come down to Scar 20. They just called it like it was his name. He's going to be spamming through towards a ramp. He hits 1 shot, but unfortunately 1 is not enough as the T's are now moving in, but The quick rotate means they've got 4 CTs on site. Mystery goes down. AKNY will be able to get one with the Scar 20. Will he get a second? He will. And now the bomb being planted is a 2v4. Sobo and Knife left alive, and Sobo just stuck behind this firebox, feeling the fury as he will go down, gets one, making it a 1v3, but Fugly puts an end to the madness. And Aftershock, they pick up their first CT side round of this half.
And a big one at that. You know, Dismay hasn't necessarily run away with this game just yet. 12 rounds to 9. And if they can do some economic damage here, the money is a little imbalanced over on the T side. Sobo was at 10K, but because he had to buy some AKs for his teammates, he's down to 2650. Sharp at 3500, the rest of the team around 1000. So maybe 1 or 2 more rounds for Aftershock, and Dismay is going to be on Eco. So I'm thinking that if Aftershock can win 2, it'll be 12-11. And then they'll be facing an Eco, and they could tie it right back up. And it looks like right now Dismay trying to make a play over towards the A bomb site. All 5 players towards ramp right now.
Yeah, and the Scar 20 still on AKNY. Playing towards CT spawn, and it's got a Molotov heal utilized towards Palace. But no players actually opting to use that exit for the T side. All these counter flashes coming in. AKNY actually fully blind means that he's going to get dropped down very low. Mr. E with the opening. And this is a great start to the A take for the T side here. Smelly will be able to fire back finally as Knife goes down, but bomb being planted. Drone and Smelly just completely stuck out. Finally, the smokes dissipate, and they're able to work a little bit more, but AKNY, again, still alive with that Scar 20 in back sight, but it's an issue if no one's peeking him, and he peeks up himself and goes down, so it is going to be a 2v3. Bomb is planted very well for the T's, but it's now Sharp left in a clutch situation. He's going to peek out. Drone puts him away, though. And although that looked like a great Dismay round, Aftershock retakes and take it. It's going to be 10-12, and they still hang on to that auto snipper.
The Scar 20 is working out quite nicely for them. You know, one of the strong suits of that gun is solo sight holding. Interestingly enough, though, they're keeping it over on A. Typically, when you see the Scar 20 buy come out from the CT side, it goes over towards B, like on Van, and you just spray away through the smoke you lay out for yourself into apartments. Instead, they're keeping it with the stacked players, and I kind of think that's wise, as right now, if they lose it, they're not going to give it away. One player for the T side is already down on 7 HP. That's Limesor catching 2 nades. Bomb is over by B, though. And no real commitment from Dismay in either direction. I imagine this is going to be a fake play from them. They're going to try and keep these players over on A and make the bomb push out. But instead, bomb is falling back towards mid. So not really sure what they're thinking just yet. The setup they had definitely indicated a fake. Instead, they're trying to regroup here and figure out what to do. With a minute left on the clock here in round number 23. If they lose this, they will more than likely be on a full eco. And that would be tie score if Aftershock could take that.
And once again, they're opting to hit this A site, but they need an answer for AKNY and the Scar 20 in back sight near CT spawn. They do have a 3-person stack here. Mystery is a great answer to that as AKNY jumping up will go down. And now the site completely in control of the T's here, but Drone will get one. That's Limesor going down in mid, but Fugly will be on the bench on a 1v3. Drone, in a very awkward spot, will be forced to save. And Dismay finally put another one on the board as they did drop 2 in a row. Aftershock looking solid, but this was the round that they really needed to acquire, like you were saying, to gift them that eco round victory. And then kind of the 2-for-1. You get the first round, you get the second one free. Doesn't exactly completely work that way in Counter-Strike, but definitely much better chances on that eco. So Drone will make it away with this AK-47. He's got almost a full nade set, a kit, and helmet, so definitely a great save by him. Plenty of money they'll keep on his back. But we'll see. Dismay looking poised to try and close this out here. 13 rounds on the board. They're only 3 away.
And Aftershock not really able to pull up the most dynamic buy. There's swag 7s and 5-7s. So they're not really looking too strong right now. We've seen it work for them in the past, and we've seen it work for multiple teams. You know, it's kind of a split pie. They got the Mag 7 on Smelly, 257s on Skillet and AKMY, M4 on Drone, and AK on Fugly. But the T side is decked out. They got grenades to the gills and up on Mr. E. I mean, they're definitely fully prepared, even with secondary pistols upgraded to Tech 9. So they have more than enough money on their side built up at this point. They're going to be keeping that bomb back in T spawn over by A. And here comes the Execute as they push out of Connector and Ramp at the same time. Mr. E with the Tech 9 gets 2 quick frags as they line up. Limezor is going to take out Skillet, the other man in the site. Mr. E, 3K now on the round, all with the Tech 9, despite having an AWP in hand. Decides not to even use it. He says, you know what, this gun's good enough for me. And now it's on AKMY with that 5.7 and a defuse kit. He's going to get dropped by Sharp. So now 14 rounds to 10, and it's going to be another eco from Aftershock as they just have no money.
Yeah, no money, tons of problems. So 14 to 10, the scoreline here. Dismay looking like they're in a good spot. This should be another round victory for them unless we see some crazy play from Aftershock, but definitely if we've learned something from these 3 maps, we should not count out these pistols. So Limezors will get the opening frag onto Smelly. He tried to jump into Underpass, following in the footsteps of Senpai Fugly, but Fugly makes it down. The student does not. So Fugly still poised in a good position down in Underpass, just holding, and gets a beautiful peek onto Knife. So that is a return frag, but Mr. E, soon as they get that return frag, Skillet goes down. Now an awkward spot here as Limezor trying to work from top mid, but eventually it's going to be Sharp that puts down Fugly. So AKNY, he's got the lone task, the one man that could do it all. We'll see if it's AKNY, the bomb heading towards that B site. He is between the CTs and their round victory right now. But wants to prevent that match point. Dismay, if they take this round, would be on 15, and they certainly do that. And Sharp getting the frag, 15 to 10, match point for Dismay. Will they be able to close this out? We saw, I believe it was 15 to 9 when Aftershock was able to make it all the way back to the overtime in cash. I believe that's correct, but if not, it was 15 to 10. Regardless, they were able to fight back once. Can they do it again here?
They're going to have a hard time as this buy is really putting a lot of strain on their money. There really wasn't much there. Not able to get a lot of grenades. See Drone with an HE, a couple of flashes, and a decoy. Drone the only other smoke, and actually Fugly has one as well, but one defuse kit on Drone as his money was the best. But they're not really looking too hot. Sustainability-wise, you want to have as many grenades as you can get. Obviously, smokes and flashes playing a huge role in holding players off. You can see already, Sobo's able to push up in Palace way further than he would normally be able to, as normally a smoke would be blanketing that position. So, looks like they're going to be pushing a bit towards A as smokes rain out. There's one jungle stairs. CT is smoked as well. The flash is raining out, and this is it. It's round number 26. This is where Aftershock needs to show up. Drone gets 2 frags, but he gets taken out. Smelly and Skillet dropped as well, and now it's a 3v2. Sobo, Mystery, and Limezor facing off against AKNY and Fugly. Fugly has been a dominant force on this map thus far, 26 and 16, but it is going to be a difficult retake. AKNY gets one, Fugly gets another, and all of a sudden it's a 2v1. Mr. E with the AWP in Palace. Can't get the first shot. He's getting into a duel here, and Aftershock doing exactly what they did on Cash, staving off defeat, making it 15-11. But the money on the side of Dismay is just unbelievable, so they're going to be buying up yet again. Meanwhile, Aftershock still struggling with money, going to have to just continue this force buy life and hopefully keep things going here and do exactly what they did on Cash and win out to take it to overtime.
Yeah, Aftershock, they're bringing it closer here. They are not finished, as this is a CT-sided map, so definitely see it going to overtime, and boy, would that be interesting. As once again, Dismay will be on their match point, and if Aftershock takes it once again, they're going to be a little disappointed, but there will be a standard A taken. This time, though, the stack, it's gone from the CT side. Drone, the only one able to peek up, and that was through the side of a smoke at CT spawn. So they're able to get the bomb down with only losing one player, 4v5. On the flank, Skillet goes down, and that was a big opportunity for him, as maybe if he worked a little slower, but I don't know what kind of noise he made. Now a 4v4. AKNY, AWP in hand, 2 players for the T's underneath the balcony, but Limezor will get one, and it's falling apart here for the CTs. It's a 2v2 situation, but with no time to spare, that is gonna be it. Sharp will get the final 2 frags and close out this map. Dismay finally take this best of 3, 16-11. As Aftershock, unfortunately for them, will not be able to come back once again here. We will not be seeing an overtime. And Aftershock will be moving down to our lower bracket. Dismay moving on in the upper bracket. So that is going to be it. And I haven't heard Buck's mic activated, but I heard the sigh of relief anyhow. This man needs to eat and go to bed. That is the mission. So we're going to make it happen for him. But I do want to let you guys know what we have in store for tomorrow, as we are 12 hours away from My KPV versus Planet Key Dynamics. So that is the next match on our agenda starting tomorrow. And that will be for our European region. So I will have the pleasure of casting that. But for tonight, we are done and over with. Thanks again to everybody. We will be having that Twitter giveaway from Affluent Designs. And that will be happening shortly after here. So make sure you guys look at Twitter, because I imagine that is where they're going to be announcing the winner of that. They might post it in the chat here once as well, but definitely keep your eye on Twitter if you're interested in that giveaway. But definitely Cyberware, we've got that giveaway coming up on the 15th. As long as you guys are liking the RGN page as well as the Cyberware LLC, that page, that is all you need to do. So we'll announce the winner at the end of our broadcast on the 15th, but that is going to be it, guys. I am Sprawl. Follow me on Twitter at @OfficialSprawl. I'll be up for our match tomorrow. But Buck, how about yourself? Where can they find you?
They can find me in bed, snoring away. Now, they can follow,
really
you guys can follow me on Twitter. It's at Bach_TV. I would really appreciate that, very much so.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow him, and not into bed, though. He does not want that. As much as the Delirious Buck thinks that's a good idea now, all of our viewers showing up at his bedside, maybe not.
I have a king bed. It's fine.
All right, there you go. Invitation's wide open, guys. Jump on in. But for me, I'm going to go to bed alone. Just because that's how I roll. So that's going to be it, guys. From everybody here at RGN.